I've been getting involved in understanding the climate over the last 6 months really, and it's happened very suddenly. I think as I came to it as somebody who felt they were quite knowledgeable and quite educated on climate subjects, and yet there was a big wake-up call with the screening of David Attenborough's Climate Change the Facts programme, which brought XR onto my horizon and then made me think, actually, do you know what, I don't know anything about this, I need to find out more. And so we started looking into XR, my husband and I, and very quickly, I think, realised that it feels like the only thing that is going to make the amount of difference that's really needed. We're doing other stuff as well, but it seems that XR is the only mechanism where you're influencing like the amount of system change that's necessary. The programme was in April, which coincided with the rebellion, the first rebellion, and we started getting involved quite soon after that, and we came into it actually with quite a lot of trepidation, thinking that maybe it was a bunch of slightly weird people and hippies and not really our sort, the sort of people that we would feel comfortable with. But once we started getting involved, I think we realised that actually it's all sorts of different people, and it takes all sorts. There's different ages and different backgrounds, and it felt completely comfortable. So we've got fairly heavily involved. I retired in June. I come from originally from an engineering background, and I worked in science and engineering for years, and then after I had the children I started work for myself. I retired in June, and Dave, my husband, has been retired for a couple of years, and this is not what we thought we would be doing with our retirement, for sure. So it's completely changed what we thought our life plan was going to be, and yet now it feels like it's completely clear that this is the only thing we should be doing. It's so important that any other plans we might have had just have gone out the window, because we both feel that motivated that this is the only thing we should be doing right now. We have 3 children, 3 grown-up girls, and they also have been driving our involvement in climate. So they range in ages from 21 to 27, and the youngest is doing climate science with maths at university. The eldest works in charity and has just started working for an environmental charity. The middle one is also volunteering overseas at the moment. And from each of them, not only do we look forward to what their futures might be, and already they've raised concerns about whether to have children or not, because they see what the future holds, and they started making life changes before we did. We had 2 vegans in the family for environmental reasons, and so they were kind of influencing us upwards as well, and if anything we were the last ones to arrive at the party, as it were, from a family point of view. So yeah, I mean, we're looking at their futures. Our youngest daughter will be my age in 2060. What will the world be like for her? Don't know. So we've made personal changes, and we're influencing at a local level as well, and with groups of friends. But I think we just see that the amount of change that's needed is huge, and it has to be at a system level. And so XR is really it's the only thing that we found that's going to be changing things at that kind of level. We've been to two actions. We did the October Rebellion, and we did the Summer Uprising, and in between I think we feel that the way to offer our gifts and skills is through talks and training. We're both very concerned about outreach and wanting to talk to more people. So through putting on, wider talks that people can access and get to hear more about the message. So locally, we're part of the training and events group. I would like them to take the small amount of time that is needed to really understand the seriousness of the situation. If they have not done that, to engage with it on a very personal level, to look at what it might mean for them and their family. And for me, that was a profound experience, to map out my children's ages, and if I was to have grandchildren, what their ages would be into the future, to make it really personal. And I would say to whoever you were talking to, get personal about it, think about what it's going to mean in your life, and then just read. It doesn't take very long, actually, there's so much good information out there now, to really embrace what is needed and then do it for whatever business you are in, whatever influence you might have. Start talking about it. We have to have this conversation, and it's quite hard. It changes family life, and it's changed it for us, not just in our small family, but with our wider family. It's become something that is something we all talk about, which is hard, because it does kind of, it puts a different light on things. But that's something else that I find really admirable about XR, is it really helps you look after yourself as well. It's one of the principles that and I think we've really come to recognise how important that is, and that you have to find ways of bringing joy into your life still. For me, that comes back to my faith as well, that and I've found other Christians within XR, which has been really reinforcing for me too, as well as actually other random people that we've met, that we've known for years and have lost touch with, and then randomly they've popped up in XR, and that's kind of really reassuring that you're on the right path.